Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lax over here at Sunrise Gaming. I'm joined by Doran today, and we're going to talk about a different sort of topic here on our channel, and we want to talk about selfless play versus selfish play. And we're going to reserve it only to competitive because, as we know, quick play is just for fun, and arcade is just for fun. So, Doran, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you today?
I'm doing well. So, when we mean selfless and when we mean selfish, what is the difference that you see?
So, a selfish player is somebody who goes into a competitive match with the mindset of, I'm going to play this character only. This is my main, and I'm not switching off. I'm going to
Hmm.
do what I want to do, and that's it. A selfless player is the person who comes in with the mindset and goes, what does my team need? Okay, somebody's auto-locked soldier, and somebody's locked mercy. We need a tank. I'll play a tank class. Just see, and they communicate with their team like, what do we need? Who wants to play what? Let's talk it out. That's a
Right, right.
selfless player.
Yeah, definitely. You have to remember that Overwatch is a team game. You have five other people with you when you're entering a match. So not being with your team and just picking what you want can really be dangerous, you know. One of the main things is that team composition matters. Playing whether it be a standard 2-2-2, a dive comp, a triple tank, whatever it be, making sure you guys figure out what you want to do before entering the match is, I think, essential. And a selfish player is not going to care about composition. A selfless player, like you said, is going to be willing to make that switch. The other thing that I've noticed is that selfless players tend to communicate a lot more. So if they
Yes.
see something not working, they're like, okay, I can switch. They're very upfront about that. Why do you think it is, and why do you think selfish players don't do that?
Selfish players, most selfish players, they want to play the DPS or
Yeah.
the very special and close to our hearts, the Hanzo and Symmetra mains.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Um, Not saying that's a bad thing, just saying if you're not good at it, if you're
Don't know
not
what
good
you're
at it, don't be a Symmetra main. If you are good at it,
doing.
be a Symmetra main.
Yes.
Um, they tend to not want to switch, whereas a selfless player is going to be communicating, saying like, hey man, we're not getting any value off the Symmetras or any way you can switch. And if that
Mhm.
person is going to be the selfish player, the selfless player is going to be like, okay, you stay on Symmetra, I'm going to change something up. And they try to build around the selfish player.
Right, right.
So,
They're flexible, like you said. Yeah.
yes.
The other thing that I've noticed is that selfless players tend to be more trusting of their teammates. And I know that sounds weird because we all, you run into a bunch of different players when you play competitive. So it's always like, should I trust him? Does this Reinhardt know what he's doing? Does this Winston know what he's doing? But being able to trust that Winston to initiate or that Ana is going to have your back really makes a difference because if you're a soldier and you don't trust your tank, you're going to try to make plays in which maybe you shouldn't. Or if you're Reinhardt and you don't trust your healers, maybe you're not going to start initiating when you should. So why do you? I've noticed that selfless players tend to trust their teammates a little bit more, but selfish don't. Why do you think that is?
A selfless player is gonna. Okay, let's say for example, our selfless player is playing Winston because he had to. Um, he's in there. He's gonna initiate the fight. He's gonna call out,
Mm-hmm.
"I'm initiating. I'm jumping in. I'm going on this target." He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna call it out. He's gonna try to make the play. He's gonna trust his Ana and his Lucio. If that's just saying this, we're just using a dive comp as the
Yeah.
example. I'll say Zenyatta is gonna put the orb on him on the dive, and Lucio's
Mm-hmm.
going to speed boost him in. And he's going to
Mm-hmm.
rely on his team to follow up with him. A
Right.
selfish player, say playing the same thing on the Winston, is going to be more hesitant. Is
Mm-hmm.
going to just not say anything to his team and then just dive on and expect the
Yeah.
team to follow through with him.
Mm-hmm.
Communication versus no communication. The no communication team has a chance of winning, whereas the team that was communicating and he's calling out the target,
Right.
that target's probably going to get killed.
Yeah. Like everything that we just said, building the right team comp and then communicating with your teammates, trusting them is going to lead to things dying. Just like the example you gave, a Winston that can dive the back line or just dive onto a point in general is going to trust that everybody's following him and he's not fighting alone. And selfish players tend to not trust their teammates, and that's a really big problem because that's when you get a lot of people trying to 1v1 and they end up getting in 2v1s or 3v1s and they get wrecked, and then now you're fighting down a man and you can't win 5v6 in general. So that's something we've noticed. Another thing I've noticed is that the selfless players, the guys that are willing to switch, the guys that communicate, they stay calm. And I've said this multiple times in a competitive match, especially when it's a really close match, you have to stay calm. If you're gonna be a selfless player, you have to stay calm. But selfish players don't want to stay calm. They want to blame other people. They want to call other people to switch off when maybe they're the ones that are being the problem. Why do you think selfish players just can't stay calm during a match?
Because they're fully invested. They want to be the hero. They expect everybody to be up to their level. And we're not talking top 500 matches here. We're talking, most of Overwatch
Gold.
players. We're talking gold, silver, platinum,
Yeah.
some diamond players. You, as a selfish player, are just trying to get things done by yourself, and you're not willing to work with your team. You want to get that play of the game at the end. But the
Yeah.
play of the game is nice. It's awesome to have that. But at the end of the day, Lucio's probably going to get the boop and get the
Yeah.
play of the game. So why don't you work with your
Yeah.
team to win the game and then let
Yeah.
their Lucio have the boop kind
Yeah.
of deal?
Yeah, the win is so much more important than getting that play of the game. And I think this happens with a lot of solo queuers. They just want to get that play of the game because they don't care about their rank. And once again, that comes down to being selfish and not being selfish, being selfless. And if you really want to get the most out of the game, at least I think, is that you have to be selfless because it makes the games more fun. It makes the games better in terms of like winning or not winning. Um, so the main point we want to take away is that the selfless player is the player that you want and you want to be. The selfish player you want to try to avoid. Now, what do you think you could do if you come across a selfish player and he's not willing to participate. He's just completely selfish.
You build around him. Talk to your team. Be like, hey guys, this guy isn't going to switch. He's clearly a whatever main. We need to
Yeah.
build around him. If we
Hmm.
want to have any chance of winning. If you want to win, let's work together to build around it. Just communicate. Just talk.
Yeah. Taking
Even
the
if
lead. I mean, you
take
don't
the
have
lead.
to be, yeah, you don't have to be the strongest voiced guy there. You can just be like, hey, look, he doesn't want to switch. That's fine. Let's build around him and let's win a game. And ultimately, that's it. I mean, everybody's going to have their problems with selfish players, but it's just staying calm and making the best of the situation. Now, there is also exceptions. Everybody that first picks a character, sometimes it's fine. That doesn't mean they're being selfish. If they pick a character without communicating, sometimes they're just really good at that character. If you have an amazing Widow and he picks it first on attack, just be, like I said, be willing to trust your teammates. And if it doesn't work, then call it out. Ultimately, just stay calm, be willing to trust people, be a flex player. We've all of us have said it. Learn a support character, learn a tank character, learn a couple DPS, and you can make a difference in competitive Overwatch. That'll be it for us, guys. Thank you for listening. Um, Follow us on social media. We have our Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube, watch our videos. We upload fairly frequently. We're trying to come out with more content for y'all. We Twitch stream almost every night, starting at 9 p.m. We get into interesting games, and you can see us be selfless players, and you can see us come across selfish players, and see how we deal with that. So, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.